you for sharing your experience of Terahertz. Can't wait to talk to you about it. So we're just getting everything set up here. Thank you everyone for joining. In fact, we're going to have a contest for sharing testimonials, and just I'm going to announce that in just a little bit. We got a good, fun gift for you. I think you're going to enjoy. So we'll start with this week. People will be entered who shared this week. We're going to extend it to next week and the following week. I'll talk about that in just one moment. Let me get this. All right. Hello. Okay. And let's get this going. There we go. All right. Hello. I'd love to hear anything you have to say about Terahertz. Share your experience. Terahertz is a great, fun technology. It's fun to use. It's easy to use. Anybody can pick it up and start working with it. So your clients could start. And what we have fun doing is using the Genius along with the Terahertz and talking about how we're doing that. So hello, and welcome. Thank you for joining, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. We want to have excellent Terahertz training for you, and Bené's going to join us here. We're going to bring her up to join us. And we want to have high-level Terahertz training for you to give you support, to answer your questions. So be sure to ask your questions in the chat. And as we go through the lecture today, as we're sort of working our way through the slides and the testimonials and things like that, we will be sharing and talking about your questions. Hello, Bené, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. And how are you?
You've got a little bit of a different setup today.
Yes.
I like it.
I see that my background is shot. I don't know.
I like the actual background that you have. It's actually very aesthetically appealing.
I don't know what happened to the other. So anyway,
you may have to re-upload it. Well, how are you today?
I am good. Thank you for asking.
Hanging in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Life goes on. You got to just push forward.
At least it's not crazy weather there. It's not snowing and doing crazy things and freezing over like it did before. You know, we got, it looked like in Portland, we were going to get a little bit of snow and then it was going to rain. And then all of a sudden the snow took over, and it was like, if it was like raining, pounding rain here, it was like pounding snow. Well, guess how much snow we got in like something like between 24 and 48 hours. Guess how much snow we got?
Did you get a foot or something?
Yeah, we got 10 inches of snow, which is like almost more than we've ever gotten. It's something like number 2 in that time period, you know, at one time. So people were literally had to abandon their cars on the freeways of Portland because nobody knows how to drive and stuff like this. And they were just completely caught off guard. And we have these sort of up, you have to go all the way up to get on the ramp, and people couldn't get on the ramp to get off of the freeway. It was terrible.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I'm so grateful it got warm enough to kind of melt everything. So we're fortunate that at least in Portland, if it snows a lot, it's gone fairly quickly, just because we typically have temperatures above 40 degrees. So we're extremely lucky that way.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. All right. So Patty says hello, and Agnes says hello. Wendy says hello, and Delanne says hello from Maple Ridge, BC. Hello. Okay, Patty says, I just started using my Terahertz. I'm focusing on my shoulder, bursitis, sore muscles, and wrinkles. I find it very easy to use. I think the cool thing is the more that I learn about it, the more that I use it, is the more I already expect, Patty, it's really going to help with your bursitis. And I was skeptical in the beginning. I don't know, it's another technology. Who knows how well it's going to work? But I'm starting to, the testimonials, Bené, are starting to trickle in, and a lot of them are getting pain relief. Exactly. Are you finding that from your folks as well?
Well, yes. The number one thing is the pain relief. And the number 2 is skin conditions. All kinds of skin conditions just go away if you keep at it, depending upon how severe, you know, keep wanding or terahertzing every, day.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 big ones. The skin
The
stuff.
skin, we're going to see another skin thing. Yeah, the skin. People who have terrible acne, people who have psoriasis, people who have eczema, they're getting good results on their skin. The skin loves the terahertz frequency. It's like being out in the nice warm sunshine and they're just lapping all the frequencies up.
Yep,
And
that's
Patty says she's already getting pain relief on her shoulder, and I'm not surprised. That's awesome, Patty. I'm so happy for you.
very good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's a fun technology to use. It's easy to use. It's um it's just really cool to have a new technology. It feels good while you're using it. It's not very difficult. Anybody can figure it out within a few minutes, and that's something nice. That's something that with the Genius, yes, there's a learning curve. Here, you're just basically switching the on button and you're ready to go. So that's a big difference. So very good. Well, we'd love to hear more of your testimonials. What I'm going to do is, since we have a sort of a Genius community, today I'm going to read testimonials and they're going to get entered into the contest. We had a contest where we gave away some things last week, and those people will be getting those prizes. And then we really need your testimonials. So please write down a testimonial, give us a picture of you, give us a picture of your dog if you worked on your dog. Give us, as much as you can before, after aura. We really appreciate it. And then I'm going to give away a remedy plate. So
Ooh.
we have these new remedy plates. There's one that has like 3 layers to it. It's beautiful. They're on the website. It's under the featured products at geniusbiofeedback.com, but you can have your choice. We also have a triple or a double copper coil purple plate, which is beautiful. And we have the labyrinth plate. So people can just choose the plate that they want. These are battery powered plates that connect to your Genius, and you can see the light switches on when you're using it. They are a new line of plates that we're carrying. So if it's something that you're interested in, something you would have fun with, then you can get this plate. And those plates are between $250 and $300, and you can pick your choice. We're going to see, we'll probably just do it at random, but we would love for you to submit your testimonial. It'll be next week we'll be in the running, and then the week after that, and then on the 3rd week after that, we will go ahead and we'll pick the winner probably at random, because all your testimonials will be absolutely awesome. So we'll see some of those testimonials today and talk about some other uses, things that people use the technology for. And then we also, for anybody who's getting a wand or a box, we have a coupon code that's in the chat for you, and you can utilize that for the next couple of days. Please go right ahead and we'll get your Terahertz box, core box or wand right out to you. All right, now let's go ahead and remember that we're not saying that we're not making any promises. We cannot make any claims about what the core box or the wand could do. We can only tell you of other people's experience, of our experience, but these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The Terahertz technology is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. With that in mind, let's hear a testimonial. So Paula, thank you so much for sending in a couple of testimonials. We really, really appreciate it. So she's a practitioner, and she's telling us about some of her client experience, and is going to tell us of one of the clients who's a dog, their experience in just a moment. But she says, my in-person biofeedback client, she did 2 sessions remote before the in-person. I applied a terahertz frequency, I think she has the core box, on the reflex points, which we've talked about in the palm of the hand and on the bottom of the feet on kidney 1. And she did a specific meridian, maybe one that she found out on the Genius would be helpful. Then I hooked them up with a wristband to the Genius, which is great. And then she ran the Genius for 21 minutes. Amazing results. She wrote, thank you for an amazing experience. Less Sunday scary. So she had anxiety. So it had so much less anxiety, and I had more joy and energy after seeing you. So she just had a really positive response from a combination of the Genius and the Terahertz, which is a wonderful idea. Something, Benet, that you've been talking about. Go ahead and combine your Genius with the Terahertz. So she had better mood. She had a more calm mood, and that makes sense because it works on the nervous system. So it makes sense why that would happen. And then she says that she had this Boston Terrier, and the Boston Terrier's name is Goofy. I've been working with him for 3 weeks, remote biofeedback, but he came in on Friday. His eyes were bulging, the back legs were bothering him. He wasn't lifting his leg to urinate. I applied terahertz to his spine and belly. I love this idea of working on animals because animals are so receptive to the frequencies. In between the terahertz, we did the biofeedback. During the session, we noticed his eyes and his lumbar vertebra were receding. I think this is just that the dog was responding to the frequencies. I did a little bit of fascia release and the vertebrae were all aligned. He stood up like a champ. The belly was toned, the muscles were sculpted on the hind legs, and his owner put his little coat on. So she screamed, his coat is too small. His torso lengthened by 2 inches. He went outside, picked up his leg with no problem to urinate. 2 days later, Goofy is still lengthened, like the spine is lengthened and relaxed. And here's the picture of Goofy. He wanted to get closer to the biofeedback screen. So basically, the spine relaxed and it lengthened. And that's why the coat didn't fit anymore, because he was all bunched up. And now he's able to lengthen the spine, lift the leg to urinate. So the back, the spine was much better. And she used a combination of fascial release, using the wand, and using the Genius, which I absolutely love, seeing the dog next to the Genius, wanting to get close to it, wanting to be close to the frequencies. Isn't that heartwarming? Oh, we can't hear you, Benet. Is that me? Is that my fault?
Oh, it's me.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
absolutely fantastic. I am so happy to hear that story. And that is a very cool story. Very.
Yeah, it's so nice to see pets get some relief, and so easy, something that they would be so receptive to.
Exactly.
Yeah, so easy to do for anybody. And she was saying, she probably has some of their clients that really want this as a result of seeing it work so well. So they're really, really enjoying it, wanting more of it. And then Sandra told us she's been using the Core Box daily since she got it, and her digestion was so much better, like less bloating, more regular. And she works on her feet and her palms and the lymphatic drainage points that we taught on the training. Her blood pressure has actually gone down, and we know that that's very likely because it improves the blood viscosity, it decreases peripheral resistance, it opens up the vessels. She was having some kidney issues, which I don't know how she's measuring it, but apparently those are improving, and she's just really appreciative. She's just really, really enjoying it. So I think that's all the testimonials that we have. Oh, we do have some pictures. So these are not our folks. These are pictures who use the sort of terahertz generically, but let's look at them anyway. So we have a before and after, working on the skin, wanding the bottom of my ankle after 2 months. So it's gotten a lot lighter. You just see this always with the skin maybe being like, it looks like there's not a lot of circulation, looks like there's not a lot of blood, and it's like kind of pale. And then when you see after the wanding of whether it's a week, 14 days, a month, you just see this pink skin. You see like it looks like it has more circulation. Benet, do you kind of see that over time as well?
Oh, I see it. I've even seen it with like psoriasis, where they had a patch of it. Oh, I don't know. What would I say? Maybe 3 inches. And I wished I would have taken a picture of it before I started. I started terahertzing that section, and I watched right before my eyes within a 5-minute period, the whole thing dissipating in coloration. It didn't totally go away, in 5 minutes, but it totally came, like half or a little bit even more than that gone.
Very cool.
I was surprised, and I was regretful that I didn't take a before picture.
Yeah, we got to get those before and after pictures. Can you explain what she means hooked up with the wristband? That was not related to the Terahertz technology. That is related. We can show the wristbands, the Flower of Life wristbands that are connected to the Genius. So I can fish for a few of those wristbands in just a little bit. I can find them in my office here. But she's talking about the wristbands that are connected to the Genius. So she's talking about a synergistic working together of the genius with the terahertz technology, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And we can certainly talk a little bit more about how that can work. Then we have another sort of a skin, like an acne, cystic acne. And for any teenager or anybody who's ever been afflicted with cystic acne, it's terrible. It's creates scars and it's uncomfortable and people are embarrassed to be out. And they use all types of very suppressive skin drugs in order to get rid of the cystic acne. And so this was wanding for 14 days in a row. And you see the pictures here. And look how it's clearing up, Benet. Isn't that amazing?
That
So
is
much,
totally
yeah,
amazing. But
it's so much better than all the medications that they use. And just looks like instead of suppressing it, it looks like the skin is healing.
yeah, and it does. I've seen it over and over again with skin conditions. It's marvelous.
Yeah, and it means the inflammation in the body is going down, and it's then the scarring won't happen, and then you don't have to get the side effects of taking really suppressive or invasive medications to get rid of this. And then there was a story about this dog. Lulu and her puppy Molly were playing, and Molly became entangled in Lulu's collar. Lulu choked for about 2 minutes, cut the collar off. This is something that happens between dogs. That's why I don't take my dog to dog park. I wanded every day, and sorry. So this caused damage to the nerve, and the condition the vet called Horner syndrome. Prognosis was 60% chance of recovery and at least 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
I wanded every day, and she every day she would let me and gave her and Molly wanded water. I love that they wanded the water for the dogs. She's about 80% recovered after just 3 weeks. I wanded the nerve in the neck up and down. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Her spine, and from a distance from the eye itself. So of course you wouldn't just like blow right into the eye. You go around it a little bit to the side, above, below, using that wonderful common sense. And the most clinical signs of Horner syndrome are drooping of the upper eyelid. So it sounds like this all came from nerve damage, right?
Yeah.
Because it was 2 minutes until I could cut the collar off. This caused damage to the nerve. And so she wanded around the nerve. This is so heart-wrenching, like, drooping of the upper eyelid, pupil on the afflicted side will be constricted. And so this was a 60% chance of recovery in at least 6 months. So scary. The pupil of the eye will be affected. The eye on the affected side will appear sunken. The third eyelid, and so on and so forth. What causes it? Dysfunction of the sympathetic nerve of the eyes and surrounding facial muscles because of the problem with the nerve. Well, let's see what happened before and after with the wanding.
Oh
So
my.
there was the ptosis, and here's the dog after the wanding looking perfectly normal.
Wow, wow,
The
wow.
ptosis is the drooping of the eyelid. So that's really exciting that the terahertz can create such an experience. And it's always nice with frequency-based technologies because they get to the places that are sometimes hard for drugs to reach or other things to get to, whatever they might treat with some type of anti-inflammatory or something like that to suppress maybe the inflammation in the nerve, who knows. And this is so nice, frequency can just go right through the fur, get right to the whatever the area is, go beneath the skin into the spine and help the healing, help to heal the nerve, and also that the dog can drink the wanded water. That probably helped as well. So what a wonderful story, and what a great use case for, give your dogs a little bit of wanding every day. And if they don't like the noise, then give them the wanded water. Make sure you're wanding, or I should say terahertzing the water for them. So that's just such a nice story.
Wow.
Okay, James says, how do I tell my story on here? So James, sure. Let's give you a chance to share. You can definitely, let's have you come on here. We'll bring you up as a panelist. So we'll promote you to a panelist here, and let's hear your story. So anybody else who wants to share, please just say that they'd like to share their experience, and we'll hear from them. Let's see if we can invite him up here to be a part of this. And anybody who's gotten their wand or their box and would like to share their experience, we certainly welcome that. All right, we're having a little bit of a problem. Let's see if he's around. Where'd he go? Disappeared. He said he wanted to say something and then we lost him. Yep, I guess he's jumped off. All right, so if anybody else wants to say something, just go right ahead and let us know. In the meantime, let's continue. If James magically comes back, then let us know, or we'll hear him in the chat. Anyway, we want to talk about some steps to healing and some steps to healing with terahertz, what terahertz can do for you. So terahertz can eliminate, this is what we've been told, what we best understand about terahertz. We're not making any claims, but our best understanding of terahertz, based on what we understand from the teachings about terahertz, what different people have experienced, is we think that the way it works so well is the first thing is that terahertz resonates with your cell's frequency, and the body really likes that frequency. It seems to match our optimal frequency. So using the frequencies regularly seems to eliminate unhealthy cells, and that's similar to a process called apoptosis. You want to be able to eliminate cells from your body that you no longer need, that are worn out and that are not doing you any good, because you wouldn't want them to mutate or become aberrant in any way. You want to eliminate the cells that are no longer working for you and that you no longer need. And we want to activate the cells. We want the good cells, the cells that are still functioning, to absorb the terahertz frequency. So wherever you want to get benefit from the terahertz, make sure you put the terahertz, the core box or the wand, at that particular location, although working around the body and working the acupuncture points or meridians will also have a whole body benefit. So that's activating your cells. Now, this is something, watching the different doctors that teach about wanding, it's really interesting. Just gonna cough there for a second. They say, Benet, have you heard this, that the terahertz helps to unzip the DNA and goes deep inside the DNA? It activates healing within the DNA. It induces and strengthens the DNA inside the cell and helps it to heal at a very core level. Have you heard this before? Oh, you're muted.
I have not heard this before. That's amazing. Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
one of the doctors from Singapore said, yeah, that can unzip the DNA and it can help the DNA to heal at a core level. So, you know, what you could do is you could be terahertzing at the same time that you're playing your 528 hertz from your Genius.
Yeah.
So you can do those together for the transformation of the DNA.
Yeah.
All right, and we can clear meridians and catalyze lymphatic drainage. And so we do that with many of the points that we've talked about previously, working at the level of the palm of the hand, working at the level of underneath the foot at kidney 1. And then we pointed out the different lymphatic drainage points, like at the neck, the groin, inside the elbow crease, at the back of the knees. There's lots of different lymphatic channels all over the body. And we have pointed out in past classes some drainage, lymphatic drainage areas, and you just run the terahertz over there, whether it be in a circular motion or it be vertical or side to side. All of that can get great benefit for lymphatic drainage. It also improves the microcirculation. So you've got some blood vessel dilation. And this is probably why we heard from Sandra today. She said it is reducing her high blood pressure. And apparently from another video I was watching, this is a common thing that people report, that it actually helps to normalize their blood pressure. Hypertension has been called the silent killer. A lot of people have high blood pressure because their kidneys are not working well, and they have maybe something about their diet that they need to change, or something about their heart, their circulation, the blood vessels. This specifically helps with the dilation of the blood vessels, and that's going to decrease what's called peripheral resistance. So when the blood is all trying to rush through the vessel and it's smaller, it's vasoconstricted, then there's more pressure pushing at the side of the walls. And if if it can go from like this to sort of open up like this, then the pressure that's pushing through the vessel decreases. And so this is called decreased peripheral resistance. And so as a result, your blood pressure will lower. It's much healthier and preserves your vessels and your circulatory system as a result. So you always want to maintain a normalized blood pressure, an optimized blood pressure, something like 120/80. They now say it should probably be as low as 110/70. All of those things, you don't want to have to rely on a drug in order to get your blood pressure lowered, because blood pressure medications have lots of side effects. And it could be from causing Alzheimer's, dementia, to not ever being able to get off the blood pressure medications, because then you get something called rebound high blood pressure, plus just the toxicity of having to detox the medications. And they don't really resolve the problem. They just shut down the mechanism that is causing the high blood pressure for some amount of time. Then you need to take the medication again. So this is a much better, non-toxic, non-addictive thing for you to do. And a lot of people who are on things like blood pressure medication, the cardiologist is going to recommend that you take it for the rest of your life. You really, when I would see patients, like, so rare that you hear, oh, my doctor cycled me off of this medication. They want you on those blood pressure and cholesterol lowering medications for life. And that's what I usually saw. People are just on them for years. Now, do you have anybody that that's been able to lower blood pressure?
Personally, I have not, but of course, I've also seen other testimonies regarding that.
That's good. And you could try running the terahertz around the kidney meridian, because the regulation of kidneys regulates the fluids of the body. And a lot of times the first sign that the kidneys are not working well is high blood pressure, because they're not properly regulating the fluids in the body. So you could look up the kidney meridian, you could look the kidney meridian up on your Genius and see where it is on the body. And you could also find the points that are most depleted on your Genius, which are the ones that are in red, which are the ones that are in blue. And you could wand or blow your Terahertz Core Box over those points on the meridian. Or you could find the meridian, go all the way up and down in like a horizontal motion over the meridian. So that's another thing that you could do.
That's a good bit of information, doctor.
Yeah, I think it's exciting that people could do so much self-healing, and they could combine it. They could be playing the chimes of their Genius at the same time that they're doing their terahertzing. And okay, great question from Patty that we haven't said today is that, yes, every training, we usually mention this, Patty, so I'm glad you brought it up. We should always be working on bare skin when we can. Now, if you're a practitioner, you have a client come in, you can work over the clothing. The frequency will go through their clothing. You can work on a fully clothed person, but when you're working on yourself, when you're working on someone where, family member, spouse, whatever it is, you want to get on bare skin as often as possible, because you want to have the best chance of that frequency really affecting the area that you're working on and going deep within this, underneath the skin. And it always just feels good on your body to have that terahertz frequency. Don't you agree, Benet?
I think it feels better on the skin, directly on the skin. It's more soothing, it's more calming, and I think it has greater benefit. And even when I'm doing, massage situation, I don't have the sheet on over them to terahertz them over the sheet. I pull the sheet down and I'm actually terahertzing their bare skin. So
wonderful.
It does have a greater effect on softening, the muscles and everything when you do it directly on the bare skin. However, there's nothing wrong with doing it through clothing. You're going to get the benefit.
You'll still get the benefit. So let's go ahead and we'll take the screen off for just a little bit here. Like that, we can see the wonderful chat. Now what I'm going to show is the actual case that we've been sharing with people that you can utilize. This is a really cool case. It's nice and sleek, and we can share the link in just a moment to that case. It's about $14 on Amazon. Anybody can get it. What I like about it is just nice and sleek, and so we'll open it up and we can see that our terahertz fits nicely inside here, and we've got a little place for the wiring, the plug, and so forth. And we really want to keep the terahertz in a case because the chrome part, I want to be careful I don't do that right now, the chrome part can actually be damaged. And so we just want to be really super careful with this, but we want to show it on camera because a lot of people, when they watch this video, they're like, well, you didn't even show it. So we want to make sure we show it. Here's the back. Here's the front of the terahertz unit. And we want to show the side so we can show the different controls. And there's three controls on the terahertz. Try not to drop it. Three controls on the terahertz, and there's an on-off switch. So you can just get that. The middle switch is going to switch from blue to red on the color. We'll show it in just a moment. And then the last one switches it from cool to warm. So we're going to plug that in and go ahead and show that. So Benet, for you, have you any clients, any interesting things? How are the dogs doing with the terahertz? Anything you want to share with us about your week in the land of terahertz?
Nothing new with the client per se, but the animals. I mean, if any of you out there are interested in providing results for the animals, I see over and over and over again. My friend who I brought up before in these webinars, she is working on a client with a cat right now, and she is seeing great results. And when you work on the smaller animals, you have to kind of take the size and the weight into consideration. You would be able to terahertz a horse longer, than terahertzing my little 6-pound Pomeranian. So somewhere in there, I've got Pomeranians that range anywhere from 6 to 10 pounds. I don't have to do anything more than about 3 minutes, on the area that might be needing it. My little cricket needs it for skin because she, for some reason, breaks out. She aggravates herself, I think. She breaks out with these rashes and everything on the lower part of her lumbar spine. And all I got to do, I don't have to use the drugs anymore. The drugs went away. Totally went away. All I got to do is keep
amazing.
Up with terahertzing her every day for a couple, 3 minutes. I don't have a bit of problem. But the results are so much better. The animals are, like you said, the animals are so sensitive to the frequencies. They just suck them up like whatever.
That's great. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll show a little bit. Let's see if I can possibly do this. It's going to be the little Russian nesting doll here. Okay, I can tilt it up a little bit. That helps. So if we do this, turn it on. Okay, there we go. There's the red. And there's the blue. And I think we can see if we can use this. So here's the low setting. Let me guess you didn't hear it. You didn't hear it change, huh? Because I have the microphone back on. So I'm going to take the microphone. I'll just pull the microphone out for a moment. Now you should be able to hear it. So let's try that again. So we're going to tilt it up like that. And can you hear it on now? And let's try it. Let's do this right here. Okay, so once it's when the microphone is not plugged in, that's much easier, it seems, to hear it, huh, Benet? Oh, you're muted again or something. Yeah, something's
Got
it.
Got
Okay.
it.
And then just want to mention that the back part here, or what you see right here, you can actually put essential oils in here, say lavender, frankincense, and then you get the energy of the oil coming through as you terahertz. And you get all the benefit of the blue light, of the red light, as you can switch back and forth. Are there any particular oils that you really enjoy putting into your terahertz?
Well, for example, your lavender is really going to be even more calming, making the whole session even more calming. That, that is just one that comes to mind. Now, you could also put your pain, if you're dealing with pain, depending upon what company you get Pan Away. I've got, Young Living, or Cool Azul, oil or whatever.
Oh, those are all great. Those are all great for anybody in pain, inflammation, injury, anything like that.
Obviously it adds to it. And I don't even take that red part out. I just put cotton ball or a piece of felt in the hole. And that way there, you're not having to worry about the oil from the last time being in there and da-da-da-da-da. It's going to be on the cotton ball, and you just pull it out and do a different cotton ball with the different oil.
Fantastic. So I'm going to put a case for your Terahertz Core Box, and we'll go ahead and we'll put that into the chat here. So if you want to get one, Patty says, I need one of those. So you can go ahead and get one. It's a whopping $13.99 on Amazon. And that's going to be, if you got your Prime, you're going to get it shipped free to your place. And then it just fits in there so well. And what's amazing is, I don't know if you remember, I think it was Wendy last week. She was like, can I fit the wand into that? And I think you and I both looked at that case, Benet, and we were like, there's no way this is going to fit inside that case, but it absolutely fit inside the case. So Wendy, I hope you got one of those cases, and it's wonderful. Now I have both the case and the wand in each one of the cases, and it's so sleek. It stores really well, and then I can just grab it if I'm gonna run over to a friend's house and bring my terahertz with me. So they come in super handy. Oh, Wendy says it's on its way. She's getting one, so that's great. If anybody has anything that they would like to share about their terahertz technology, we'd certainly love to hear any of your testimony, anything, and you'll be entered in to win a remedy plate, which I think is going to be fun. Our brand new remedy plates worth up to $300. So I think you really enjoy those plates. Let's see if we have anybody here who wants to share, and then we'll go back to our presentation as well. All right, there we go. All right, let's just review about how to run a terahertz session for anybody who's never heard this before. And just seeing if there's any other questions. I heard on another terahertz video that you should not take a bath or a shower for 4 hours after using the terahertz. Benet, tell us about that. I've heard people say that before. Tell us, that's a little bit of an urban myth or something.
I think that's a myth. We need to turn that one into Mythbusters. No, I'm sorry, but I would not believe that one at all. No.
Okay, yeah, so you don't have to. I think the reason that they had mentioned that was with the concept that you would keep more of the energy. You would keep more of the energy and the frequency that's in your skin. It's sort of embedded in there by not washing it off with water. Somehow you hold the frequency more. People, we're not really finding that it makes a big difference, that once you have the frequency and it's sort of underneath the skin, it's going to continue to permeate and affect your body in a positive way without being sort of washed away. So there isn't any logical reason I can think of why you would need to do that. And Benet sort of thinks the same thing. But if you're going to take a bath, you could wand your bath water.
I could bring up the fact of using essential oils. I mean, I'm asked because I do raindrop therapy, I'm asked, well, can I take a shower? Yes, you can take a shower, or you can leave the oils on, but trust me, the
oils are a little bit different, right?
But the oils penetrate right away.
Right. That's true.
They're being captured by the cells that need them. They're grabbing them, and they're internal. So why would you have to worry about not taking a bath? I can't see that. I can't.
Wait, gotcha. It makes more sense to me. But when you're in the bathtub, before you get in, don't do it while you're in the bath. Wand your bath water, but don't do it from the bath.
Don't do what somebody
else in the bathtub trying to wand their water.
Don't do what somebody else did either. They took the wand, and I can't believe that they did this. They took the wand and they put the tip of the wand in the glass of water.
So they're like blowing wand bubbles. We don't want anybody to get electrocuted or anything.
Yeah, they didn't have a wand left over when they I mean,
that's so okay. So don't do that. Use common sense. So we'll take any of your questions that you have. You want to use the wand for this, you want to use it for this, you have a recommendation, you want to ask a question, absolutely let us know. Okay, 1 minute on each point using circular motion. You can work on pericardium 8, which is right at the center of your palm. So you just wand over the center of the palm, left and right hand. Whether you're using the Core Box or you're using the Terahertz Wand, you can use either one. It's great to have both of them. You can use the points on the foot as well. And in the center of the foot, we have a point called kidney 1. And that is an amazingly powerful point. once you start working on it, whether you give it a little bit of acupressure or you work on it with your wand, it'll almost start asking for attention. You can sort of feel it like, oh, I feel like I should be working on kidney 1. It kind of calls to you. It's called bubbling spring, and all of the Tai Chi masters say you should be working on kidney 1 day in and day out, always giving it, maybe even just giving it some acupressure or some acupuncture or some moxibustion or some terahertz frequencies. So amazing, amazing. When you feel it, when you work on a daily basis, one of the things that I experience from working on a daily basis is more energy, because you're working right at the first point on the kidney meridian, which is all about your kidney jing, your energy. It's related to your adrenals, related to all how well you feel, your sense of vitality. So in order to increase that, if you feel low energy, make sure you start using your terahertz daily on that kidney 1 point. You can just look up online if you're not sure where it is. We've shown the picture a couple of times on the training, so you can see our past trainings on my YouTube channel. And then they're showing pericardium 8. Again, you can just use that circular motion. And this is a very powerful point to work on. And then a couple more points that we've shown in the past, just as a review for fun, if you're dealing with cold and viruses. Now, I feel like February is, like, at least in Portland, maybe not so much in Texas, it is the hardest month of the year because we haven't seen sun in forever. And it's not only is it overcast, but now it's just raining all the time. In fact, you won't believe this. The snow just melted here. Now we're getting pelted again with a whole bunch of snow. How's that global warming for you? How's that global warming working out? I've actually heard it's going to be something like significantly degrees cooler in Portland over the next 2 weeks. And I don't know if that's true in the rest of the country. But anyway, people are thinking a lot about cold and virus. Make sure you take your vitamin D, right, this time of year. And so you can work on a spot here. You can see lung 7. You could probably find it on your own sort of forearm here. And when you find it, you'll kind of feel it. It's very good for boosting your immune system. So you don't just massage it or give it acupressure. You just take your core box and you're going to do this for 15, 30 seconds or even a minute on the left and the right side. And you're really going to bring energy into that point. So this is a cool way. You're almost being your own acupuncturist at home, working on these points. Remember, you could go to your Genius and you could find the points that are low or high in the acupuncture meridian section and work on them with your terahertz. So the Genius is going to inform which terahertz points you're working on. I would love somebody to send me before and after pictures of their aura working with terahertz before and then after, seeing the aura, what happens after you terahertz. Here's another look at lung 7. It's really on the flip side of what we were looking at, so that picture isn't quite what it should be, but it's on the actual sort of the top side, the sunny side up. And it's said to release the exterior, open the door to help to show the invading pathogen the way out of the body. So if you're feeling a cold or flu come on, try this point. All right, and then another point that we've talked about, kidney 27. So this wouldn't be kidney 1, this would be 27 on the kidney meridian. But remember that kidney meridian is all about vitality, all about having energy. So you can use this. This is another one that you can use for immune support. It alleviates cough or shortness of breath. I should maybe work on that for, my voice. I start to get a little bit of a cough after talking for a while. It relieves any feelings of fear or anxiety. So you can work on that, not only with acupressure, but with your wand or with your box. And I think the concept of working with the terahertz on these different points is brilliant. I think it's going to change your life. It's going to save you money. You don't have to see your acupuncturist as often. And it really works. You can really feel the release and the relief at these particular points. And it's very empowering to be able to work on these key Chinese meridian points on your own on a regular basis, not having to save up that money when the one time a month or something you can see your acupuncturist. So kidney 27, that point we're just talking about, this is the last point on the kidney meridian, considered to be the neurological center of the acupuncture circuit. So very good for jangled nervous system, when you've been worried, anxiety, when you need to calm yourself down, maybe you're traveling, you're on the plane. This is a great one that you can do on the plane if you get that kind of nervousness before the plane takes off, things like that. And it's actually good for jet lag. So if you're flying somewhere and you're going to be in different time zones, it'll help you to work on this point. You probably can't do the wanding or do the terahertz on the plane, but maybe afterwards you can take it with you in your awesome case, right? So use this point to improve energy. And again, another great point in addition to lung 7 for the immune system. And we have another one that we've talked about. This is bladder 23. So if you can get a friend maybe to take the wand and work on those points, or you could get a stand and you could be in front of the stand. Actually, Benet, why don't you can you put into the chat some of your favorite wand stands, which is basically a blow dryer stand that you can pop your, so why don't we go ahead and get some of those that we can look at. And so then you could basically sit in front of the terahertz at the stand, or stand in front of it, might end up being better. And you can work on bladder 23. Bladder 23 strengthens the lower back and the knees. And it was really good for building up your reserves and building your core energy. You can see another picture of it here. And it relieves low back pain and fatigue. It fortifies the digestive organs, which is interesting, and the immune system. So we're going to look at that stand in just a moment. And the slide before kidney 27, can we see the new meridian point? That's going to be the lung. We actually have shown that before, but let's go ahead and let's see this handy dandy stand here. Just have to roll over it to see it. So tell us a little bit about how you are using this.
I use it because I have nobody to do my spine. So I lay on the bed on my side.
Sure.
And I just leave it, for 2 or 3
you sort of bend this down a little bit so that it can get to the sort of where you're lying on the bed on your side.
Exactly.
You can easily stand in front of this and have it work on that kidney 27 point.
Sorry. Oh, absolutely. Or having it blow anywhere, really,
And at this size, the way that it is, you're able to use this little Velcro thing to get around it and to keep it in place.
Exactly. You put the cord there through that Velcro, and then it's going to stay in place. It's not going to shift on you.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So because you tighten the cord, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Yeah. So another little accessory for your terahertzing. You can get the wand, you can get the core box, you can get them all together. And what house doesn't need the box and the wand, right? Together. Once you have one, you definitely want the other. Right. So let's go ahead, and somebody asked about here, that lung, but let's go back to the correct picture of it. So it was lung 7, Dale, and I don't know if you saw it. So lung number 7 right here. And that's what you would work on. And that's good for cold and viruses. So all the ones we talked about this evening are really good for cold, for immune system. Like I said, the month of February, you really get vitamin D depleted. Make sure you take some supplemental vitamin D. So these are great for working on those areas. Oh, and there's the stand right there. Yeah, I didn't know if you were using that same one. That's really awesome. So
yep.
There's the stand, and Benet just put that link into the chat if you were looking at that or want to know where it is. Then you can use after you do some points, some meridian points, you can also do lymphatic clearing. And so that would be under the arms. So we're going to show the lymphatic vessels in just a moment. Behind the knees, in the elbow crease, at the level of the groin, and of course your whole neck. So you can terahertz all those areas. Be a little careful on the neck, maybe just the side of the neck, the back of the neck. I don't think it's a good idea to terahertz right on the thyroid, because some people have maybe mild goiter they don't know about. You don't want to get that thyroid gland really amped up with metabolic activity. So kind of be gentle around, sort of to the sides of your thyroid gland, which usually sits right around here. All right, so let's look at the lymphatics. The lymphatics are part of your immune system. They also help to cleanse the body, because a lot of the fluid that is taken, metabolic waste from the cells, then travels through the lymphatic chain and is eventually cleared by the kidneys. So we want to help our metabolic waste, lymphatic drainage. We want to help to boost the immune system. So you can see neck, under the arms, at the groin. You can even do around the abdomen. That's a really great place to work, because a lot of people have stomach infections, or they have maybe sluggish liver, things like that. So right at that abdominal area, that's a great place to work as well. Work gently, work just for a few minutes, sensitive spots where there might be a lot going on, and then just work up over time. And then these wonderful main meridian channels like the conception vessel and the governing vessel. Conception vessel is going to be good for digestion, going to be good for hormones. Both governing and conception are going to be good for overall energy of the body, wellness, vitality. So these are key points. And this is where you would do a horizontal motion, or not horizontal, a vertical motion, up and down along those meridian channels. Okay, anything else that you want to remind us of or tell us about terahertz this evening, Vinay?
I think one of the things that we do need to emphasize, because I do hear it, and that is the drinking of the water. Energize your water. And yes, we have also mentioned, and there's benefit, taking 2 cups of the water that's energized before you do the blow.
And room temperature or warm.
Yeah. And afterward. And I think that's really because it's the circulation. Wouldn't you agree? I mean,
absolutely.
If it's cold, you're restricting. If it's warm, you're actually helping to
vasodilate. You're helping to vasodilate all the vessels by doing that. Yeah. It's interesting. Have you ever heard to take a warm shower or bath before terahertzing?
That I have not, but you know what? I would think that would be a good idea.
Of course, now that we're talking about the water, because that would help to vasodilate the skin, which would allow deeper penetration of the terahertz frequencies.
Exactly. I agree. I didn't even think about that. Well, that's a good idea.
Well, something we'll start talking about.
Yeah.
You guys want to take a nice warm bath, or even if you have infrared sauna, just sitting in the infrared sauna for a few minutes, that could be another way to open up this, vasodilate the skin and allow the terahertz to have deeper penetration.
Exactly. So let's not forget about the water. Terahertz your water. There's how many
people who are on the class tonight have you ever terahertz the water? Put your answer in the chat. Have you ever terahertz the water before? Put the answer in the chat. And let's do a challenge. Everybody this week, try your terahertz. Maybe do your aura before drinking the terahertz water, and then drink the terahertz water, and then do an aura picture from your genius afterwards and show us what the result is. We'd love to take a look at that and see what it is. And remember, now, Benet, tell them exactly how they have to terahertz their water.
If you got the wand, don't put the wand in the water. Okay. Be high above the water, but do it on the water. I mean, this would not be a good example where I've got a little narrow neck here, have it be a wider mouth. Wand or terahertz the water, don't terahertz through, even if it's glass, don't terahertz through that. You're going to find that the blowing bubbles it back up. So be careful that it's not.
Yeah, don't fill your water bottle all the way up. And then terahertz, it can be at a low speed.
Yeah.
Try the different colors if you're using the core box. That's fun to expose it to the different, because color has wavelength, and wavelength will be absorbed by the water. So do that. And now a lot of people in the chat said yes, that they had. Can you tell us, can anybody tell us their experience? Did anybody notice anything? So Glenna says yes, Wendy says yes. Paula, hey Paula, we shared your testimonial. Thank you so much for sending. You're going to be in the Remedy Plate contest, our new line of Remedy Plates. Pat says yes, Lisa says yes, Lori says yes, Patty says yes, Adina says yes. They've all tried it. Does anybody who said yes, can you tell us, did you feel anything different during your day after drinking the water? Anything that you noticed, more energy, that you had better digestion, better elimination, anything like that? I had more energy. Wow, I had more energy from drinking the water. Wow, I'm going to really focus on drinking more of the wanded or terahertz water this week. That's very, very cool. And we'd love to see before and after. I'll have to take one of my pictures before and after. Benet, you do one of yours, so we'll have something to share with you.
I have to too, yes. I forgot. Yeah. Yes.
Just a reminder about red light, good for neurological issues. It increases fat loss. Who doesn't love that? Fights depression, anxiety this time of year. You can have seasonal affective disorder. And this is something I do a lot, is I use red light. I have a big red light board that I use, and it really helps to reduce my tendency to get sort of, seasonal affective, not seeing, I'm really a big sunshine person, but the red light is very powerful and it really activates your mitochondria. So it also fights hair loss. We've seen that over and over again with the different testimonials that have been posted. People who had thinning hair, people who had like clumps of hair that were coming out, and they just wanded or took the core box and worked it over their whole scalp, their whole head, and all of a sudden their hair is growing back. It's not growing, it's not falling out as much, it's not thinning, it's growing back thicker. And that's an amazing benefit that a lot of people want and they can't get in anything else. So it's exciting to see that that happens because of whether it's the red light, the blue light, something about the terahertz frequency is definitely making a difference. This red light helps to reverse skin aging, improves and increases collagen, reduces wrinkles, another great benefit, increases repair at the epithelial level layer of the skin, which is that surface layer, and helps to speed wound healing, another thing. And I think we saw that with the dog, really speeding the wound healing, definitely in the nerve. And let's see. All right, so we're probably going to sort of wrap things up. Let's see if we have any final things. More energy. I wand directly. I was wanding through the glass. So Glenna, yeah, just wand directly on the water. So we are here. I guess we didn't post even the links, so let's just go ahead and post the links. We posted a coupon code into the chat. We'll post it again. We do have a coupon going for this week for a couple of days. When you get your terahertz, when you order terahertz, we ship it out personally to you. We're a very high-touch company. We're here to train you so you can learn about terahertz. You can come weekly. You can ask questions of myself and Benet as we're here to answer your questions. We think it's fun to really talk about the terahertz, really share what it is, get people familiar with it. And so that's, make it available. Maybe you are in an MLM, maybe that's how you got your terahertz, but there's a whole heck of a lot of people who they're really interested in terahertz, but don't really want to get involved in MLM. So we're here for you. You can come get your terahertz from us. We ship it out to you. We support you. We're here to answer your questions, help you, anything that you want to know about terahertz. So if you have any final questions today as we share some of the links here, we're just going to share the links to the website. If you want to share that with other people, let them know that the terahertz is available. Any final thoughts, Benet, about terahertz in general and the advantage of using your terahertz frequency?
Well, the other thought that came to me is that, and I don't think we've ever even mentioned this, why not energize your pendants, your jewelry, that you're wearing? Just like we stick
great idea
on the remedy plate to do the very same thing, that is also going to have and capture the terahertz frequencies if we do it to energize from the terahertz wand or box. So I would, suggest doing that. I've got this energized pendant that I usually wear every day, which does help with the energy as well, because it's energized. So don't take that for granted. That's another method and another thing that you can do.
I like that. Well, James is back and he says, why not through the glass? I've watched videos where the guy actually wanded through the wall, and I can't remember but what the handheld machine was used, but the terahertz was strong. I guess he muscle tested for the person on the other side, even through the wall. What do you think?
Well, I'm not saying that you wouldn't get any benefit, that the glass is going to block it. That's not what I'm saying. I think that you get the greatest benefit of energizing when you do the direct on the water.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. But that's really cool that it does work through the wall. That shows, think about it. They say that it goes deep into the bone marrow, and that's why it activates stem cells within the bone marrow. And they say that, the hyperthermic effect is also significant within the bone marrow, doing great things, helping to normalize the cells. So it's doing a lot. It's going pretty deep. And just the going through the wall kind of shows us how deep it could actually go.
Exactly.
Very cool.
There's no boundaries for frequencies. We have the genius.
So no, it's true, because frequencies are powerful. That's why I was able to get that dog's nerve, and it can get into the joint space. It's very hard to get a medication or even oxygen flow into like the connective tissue, into the tendons, into the joint space. It's hard because it's not well vascularized, but you can take your terahertz and go right over that arthritic joint, or right over that, the knee, the hip, whatever it is. You can get deep inside the body with the terahertz technology. That's why we need frequency and light technologies. And also that, people use a lot of medications usually to try to deal with these things that are causing them inflammation and pain. It's wonderful to be able to do this because it doesn't have any side effects. It's not addictive. It's non-toxic. It's non-invasive. That's what's so exciting about it.
Yeah. The other thing I would make mention of, because we were talking about the glass, and I think it's best to just always think about wanting the water. Why? Because people are going to take for granted that they have not a glass bottle. They use a stainless steel water bottle. Well, you certainly would not want to wand through that.
It's probably gonna block it, and it would heat it up. So yeah, you wouldn't want to do that. And what you could do is you just basically put the terahertz technology to the glass before you pour it into the stainless steel. That's the trick with that.
Right. Yeah.
Very, very good mention. Is it okay to wand well water?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, most time well water is better than this city water garbage that we got to well, I don't dare consume it.
A lot of people in a lot of places these days do not want to drink the tap water.
Nope. But well water usually is at least better than the city water.
Right.
So I would, if that's what you want to do.
Absolutely. Well, Bené, thank you for another wonderful session on terahertz technology. I love these Tuesday meetings. It says that hairdryer stand was $59.88 on the Canadian Amazon site. It was $21.99 US. Yeah, that probably means that there's somebody in Canada that maybe is tacking on a few extra dollars. I apologize that it's actually increased. That's not the conversion rate. Keep searching. You know what? Don't just search on Amazon. Search on other websites, Dalen. See if you can find something like that on another website. Maybe something equivalent to like our Walmart or something like that. You might be able to find something. So don't just depend on Amazon for that. I was diagnosed with scleroderma or Raynaud's. Always cold hands and feet. Do I just do the protocol? Thanks. Yeah, you're going to be happy. I mean, you're going to be happy. This is made for poor circulation and cold hands and feet. Glenn, I wouldn't be surprised if you had a real improvement in your entire condition with the scleroderma. Now, I can't make any claims. I'm not making any promises, but it's going to help for sure. You should do the points that we talked about. Go back and look at this presentation. And if you can, work gently in the beginning because of whatever may be going on. So maybe just do 15 seconds on those points on the hands, and then do 15 seconds on the points on the feet. Make sure you're drinking the water. And if everything goes well, then try 30 seconds at those points. And then especially for you, the lymphatic drainage points, I think would be really, really helpful. And then drink terahertz water as often as you can. I'm hoping that it will help with whatever's causing the root cause of this particular condition. So Glenna, keep us posted. We would love to hear if you have a breakthrough and you have some benefit and you start having less cold hands and feet. Did you have any other recommendations for her, Bené?
No, I think you covered it very well. And
she had to run an essential oil. What essential oil should she run for her scleroderma?
I'd have to look that one up.
All right. Well, you look it up so we can tell her next time.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you're very welcome, Glenna. Bring your questions about your conditions, things that you want to work on, all of those things. We're here to answer those. So thank you again, Bené, for doing this, your Tuesday evening. We really, really appreciate it. And everybody joining us. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, if you have any questions for me or you want me to ask a question in our Terahertz class, send me a message, Ariel at geniusbiofeedback.com. I'm putting that right into the chat there. Ariel at geniusbiofeedback.com. Oh, Karen, thank you for joining us too. And we will see you again soon. Have a good night, Bené, and thank you.
You too.